your screen there.
Hello, everyone. We're so excited to welcome you to our first virtual International Student Orientation. We are excited to be able to come to your location for this, and we look forward to, hopefully in the near future, for you to be able to come and meet us face to face. So thank you so much for choosing the business school at CU Denver for your graduate studies. We're really looking forward to working with you this year, and I welcome you with welcome opening arms. My name is Paula Wallace, and I serve as the Graduate Academic Advising Director. And I would like to have the pleasure now of introducing you to the rest of our team. So we have on the next slide a picture of all of us, in case you haven't seen that via your welcome emails. There's Andrew Jacobson, Melissa Galvani, and Cher Vo. So our role with you in your academic road ahead is to really help you plan your coursework so that you can graduate in the timeline that you're expecting. If you're having problems, registration issues, studying issues, course issues, then we're here to help. I always encourage students to connect with us right away so the problem doesn't become larger. So that's basically our role, is to support your academic endeavors here so that you can do really, really well with us. So in regards to connecting with us, you have multiple options. As you can see on the screen, you can connect with us by our general email, grad.advising@ucdenver.edu. We take turns monitoring that daily, so we will not leave you unforgotten. And you can also schedule appointments. We do phone appointments, we do Zoom appointments, and at some point we will also be doing office appointments. You can schedule an appointment by contacting that phone number that you see on the screen, 303-315-8110. You can also click on the Navigate link that you'll see on our emails and connect with us in that manner to schedule the time. We do a lot of email advising, either through grad.advising or our individual email addresses. So don't hesitate to reach out to us at any point in time. So again, welcome. And now I'm going to introduce you to Cher.
So hi everyone, I am Cher Vo. I am the peer advisor at CU Denver Business School Graduate Advising Team. So the first thing that we want to talk about is your degree plan. So as you can see on the screen, here is a sample degree plan with all the course requirements to complete the MBA program. You should have received a welcome email from Grad Advising titled "Welcome to the Business School following your admission" with information on your degree plan and class registration. You can click on the View Degree Plan button in the welcome email to access your degree plan. Shortly after receiving your welcome email, you should have also received a Get to Know Your Campus Resources email from Grad Advising with helpful information for newly admitted students, such as setting up your student email and UCD access if you haven't done so already, information on getting your student ID, textbook, academic calendars, billing calendar, as well as other important reminders. The graduate advising team highly recommends that you look through this information to be best prepared for your first semester at CU Denver Business School. And next, I will pass it to Melissa.
Hi, I'm Melissa, so I'm one of the academic advisors in the grad school. And I wanted to talk about a few key points of the grading system. So you'll notice that first bullet point up there. So our GPA for all our graduate students in the business school is a 3.0. So you'll want to make sure you keep that in mind as you progress through your program. And then a C is a passing grade. So anything lower, so a C- and below, is not a passing grade. But you also want to keep in mind that if you do get a C, we need to balance those out with an A grade or B grades, really to keep in mind that 3.0 GPA. And then courses with a C- or below will need to be retaken. So if it's a core course, you'll have to retake that same course. If it is an elective, you could choose to retake that course or choose another elective course. Just keep in mind that all grades impact that GPA. So even if you have to retake the course because of an F grade, for example, that previous F grade will stay in that GPA plus the new grade that you'll earn. All graduate business courses apply to that cumulative GPA. So that, again, making sure that we're keeping that above a 3.0. If you ever have any issues or something's going on in a term, please do reach out to us. It's best not to leave it to the end of term, but if you're having anything happening, we're here over email or set up an appointment. We're really here to help you be as successful as you can be as you progress through your program. And then I wanted to mention that last bullet point there of academic integrity. So, we understand that students, work together on assignments or, maybe it's something that you're researching together, but the key point is making sure that you're submitting your own work and not copying from others, because we really, want to avoid any issues with plagiarism or any academic integrity concerns. So just a few points there on the grading system. And next I'll review the academic calendars. So you'll see on the screen an example of screenshots of our academic calendars. Please do note that some of your courses may be in a 16-week format for the fall and the spring, but also may be in an 8-week format. So we do have 2 tabs there when you're looking at the academic calendars. And then on the Bursar's office, you can also find the billing calendar. So just keep in mind when you're looking at those for important dates for billing deadlines. And now I'm going to introduce my colleague, Andrew, who is also an academic advisor.
Great, thanks, Melissa. Hello, everybody. My name is Andrew Jacobson. I'm one of the graduate academic advisors, and I'm going to kind of review some of your course selection options when you're looking for classes to enroll in. So one of the first things you'll select, or one of the first things you'll look for when you're enrolling in classes, is where those classes are going to be located. Most of, if not almost all of the classes are going to be probably through the downtown Denver campus. We do have a South Denver location where we do offer a handful of classes, usually 3 or 4 each term. That's located in Parker, Colorado. You can take classes down at the South Denver location, but there's a few things to kind of keep in mind if you're looking at that option. The first thing is Parker is a really long ways from downtown Denver. Parker is about an hour drive or so from downtown, and that's if traffic's pretty good. And a lot of times when you're taking courses in the evenings, traffic's probably not going to be so great. So unless you live south of downtown, probably taking classes at the Parker location might not be in your best interest. Also, secondarily, the South Denver courses are offered in an 8-week format, a hybrid 8-week format. So they're not the full 16-week courses. Melissa kind of talked about the 16-week and the 8-week classes and everything. So you'll kind of notice some of that, and those South Denver courses are in that 8-week format. In terms of the classes and how they're actually offered, we have obviously on-campus courses. So when you're looking to register for courses, you'll have campus options. You'll have, obviously, we talked about some of the online options that you might have. And then there's a hybrid model. And the hybrid is a kind of a combination of using some on-campus or having some on-campus meetings with then also maybe work that you're also doing online. So you'll kind of see predominantly those 3. The numbers in gold behind those different labels of those courses, those are the section numbers. So when you're looking for on-campus courses, you'll see that they'll actually have a meeting date and time, but you also see that the section numbers will usually start with either 001 or 002. Hybrid courses typically have that H code in there, so H01 or DH1. DH1 is typically the South Denver sections of courses. And then online is anything that has an E, so like E01 or E50 as kind of shown there. When you're registering, you're looking for classes, we are offering more 8-week options. So you'll see when you're looking at courses, you might see first 8 weeks. And you also might see some courses offered then in the second 8 weeks. So it's a full 16-week long semester, but it's divided up into two sections, a first 8 weeks and a second 8 weeks. What that allows students to do is that you could do one class the first 8 weeks, just solely focus on that singular class, and then move into the second course that you're going to take that second 8 weeks. So basically you're getting 2 classes done in a semester, but you're not having to do work for any more than one course at a time. So some students will like that option, and you'll see that particularly with some of our information systems courses, and then some of those BUSN courses for the MBA program. And then there's going to be some courses that you'll see listed as remote. And this is mainly because of the coronavirus situation that we're in, which is why we're doing this orientation this way and giving you a video rather than doing it in person. The remote courses are going to be basically classes that were originally supposed to be scheduled as on-campus courses, but have been moved based to being fully remote. And so those courses you will not have to come to campus for. Those you'll be able to do fully online. They will probably have a meeting date and time for those classes, and you have to make sure that you're actually going to be available during that date and time. The reason for that is that the instructor might do some kind of a hybrid, might do some kind of like a Zoom or a Skype session and do the lecture that way during that specific date and time. So remote and online are a little different. Online, you can kind of choose when you want to access the course materials, but with those remote courses, you're going to have to make sure that you're probably going to be, if it's a Monday night from 6:30 to 9:15, you're going to have to make sure that you're online at that time so that you can view the lecture. And then the little note there at the bottom that says that these formats are considered on campus for visa requirements. So if you're going to be here at CU Denver taking courses here, the on-campus and the hybrid models work for being considered campus-based courses for your visa. Because as you probably know, you do have to, if you're going to be here in Denver taking courses, you need to be enrolled in at least one on-campus or hybrid course. So a few other things to consider or look for when you're making your selections to register for classes. So one thing is co-requisites and prerequisites. You'll want to make sure that any courses you're registering for, if it does have a co-requisite or a prerequisite, that you've met that when you're registering for a class. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to register. A co-requisite are basically 2 classes that can be taken at the same time. So you might have, for instance, BUSN 6550 as a pre or a co-requisite for BUSN 6620. That means both those courses can be taken at the same time. Prerequisites, those courses, that means that basically you're talking about having to complete a course before being able to register in another class. So for instance, if you're trying to register for BUSN 6710 and it requires BUSN 6630 as a prerequisite, you'll have to complete BUSN 6630 first before taking 6710. So keep that in mind. Co-requisites can be taken at the same time, or with a co-requisite, you can complete the course previously to taking it, kind of like a prerequisite, but otherwise they could be taken at the same time. And then prerequisites, just keep in mind, that means that the course has to be completed before taking the next class. Appropriate course load for an international student. You have to take a minimum of 2 classes, which is going to be 6 credits. All classes within the business school are 3 credits. And this is for fall and spring. So summer kind of falls under a different label for this. So minimum of 2 courses, 6 credits, and at least one of those, like we talked about, has to be a campus or a hybrid course. And then a lot of students ask about potentially doing internships, and certainly can do an internship. And we actually really encourage students, if possible, to do internships with their programs. However, you have to make sure that before doing an internship, we require that students complete 12 credits prior to doing or participating in any internship or CPT experience. That 12 credits basically is 4 classes. So probably your first semester or 2, you won't do an internship, but after you've taken a few classes, completed a few courses, then you should have that option once you've completed that 12 credits. And then this is going to be something that we're going to review here for you for fall 2020 in terms of what we've kind of been given as in terms of instructions for students who are new students and what their options are for the fall semester and how they can take classes. It really is 3 different options. So the first option is certainly that you can come to the US for fall 2020 semester, which if you are going to be here and attending courses on campus in the fall semester, you do have to fall in what we talked about, taking 2 classes, 6 credits, as it notes there, 5 credits. But like I said, each course that we have in the business school is 3 credits. So it's going to be at minimum 6. And then at least one of those has to be a campus course, a hybrid course. We also list kind of the independent study, internship, or dissertation thesis credit. The internship and dissertation thesis will not impact you. For you as a new MS or MBA student coming in, it's going to be really the hybrid on campus or potentially an independent study course. The second option, which some of you might be doing, which is to stay in your home country and be outside the US in the fall semester to take your first classes. And so if you're doing that, you do have the option of taking all online or remote classes during the fall semester. You then obviously would not be taking an on-campus course or a hybrid course. So you would be making sure that all of your courses then, if you're going to be staying outside of the US, that those are going to be online and remote courses. And the one thing that we encourage students to do in really all of these scenarios, is you can kind of see that last bullet point in each one of these options, is to contact ISSS to let them know what your plans are and what you're planning to do for the fall when it comes to your enrollment. So if you're going to be here, they want to know that and want to make sure that you're going to be in at least one campus course and have your 6 credits. Or if you're going to be outside the US, making sure that you're taking online or remote courses. And then the option that's given as the last option, the third option, which is to defer your admission to a future semester. And this is an option that you can do if for whatever reason you decide that you don't want to attend, take classes remotely, or have to come here to Denver. You can choose to defer your admission to a future term. You'll have to work with ISSS for a new I-20 for a future term, and you'll have to also work with our admissions team to make sure that they get you deferred for a future term. And you can reach our admission team at bschool.admissions@ucdenver.edu, and they will help you with the process of doing your deferral for a potential future term if you decide that you don't want to take classes in the fall semester. And if you decide that you don't want to take classes and you want to start in the spring, you have to make sure that you defer. If you don't defer and you just don't register for classes, your status as a student will actually fall inactive at that point, and then you'll have to actually reapply to come back in a future term. So you do want to make sure that if you do decide to not attend in the fall 2020 term, that you do contact our admissions team, do contact ISSS so that they can get you all set up to get set for a future term. And that really is the presentation. We wanted to kind of keep this short and sweet for you, so to give you some kind of general information. Certainly if you have questions, concerns, or anything comes up while you're waiting for classes to start here in the fall, or even after fall courses begin, feel free to reach out and let us know. But otherwise, we look forward to having you as a student in fall 2020, and hopefully get to see you and meet you in person at some point. So thank you, and good luck in the fall.